Hi everyone, I'm Justin Bannon, founder of Boson Protocol, and I'm here to talk to you today about Boson V3, which extends Boson to be the foundation for decentralized AI commerce and positions us to power the trillion-dollar post-web commerce era. Let's dive in. So first off, I'm going to give you a bit of an overview, an introduction of what I'm going to talk about today. So I'm going to touch on this new megatrend in tech, which is the confluence of crypto and AI agents. This is being adopted faster than any other tech we've witnessed, faster than NFTs, faster than DeFis. It's going to be huge. And this whole confluence of crypto and AI promises to be not just another web version, but the end of the web. It's what Outlier Ventures call the post-web, and it will see the end of applications and platforms. The primary drivers for this are that crypto needs AI to bridge its complex UX, and AI needs crypto to ensure verifiable deterministic execution. We'll dive into this later. So our thesis at Boson is that the combination of crypto and AI within commerce, what we're calling decentralized AI commerce, is so powerful that it will completely disrupt the current commerce paradigm in a way so dramatic we've not seen since the web itself. We will enable this by extending to Boson to become a platform that supports agentic AI. And I'm going to explain what agentic AI is. I mean, Boson is already this foundational technology for hard tokenizing physical assets. And Fermion, which is built on Boson, extends that to high value assets. So we're going to talk about how Boson will now become this platform for decentralized AI commerce. Further than that, we're going to look at some of the implications for the economy itself and humanity. So decentralized AI commerce brings on chain sort of all physical assets with strong commitments and sort of unlocks this computable economy. I'm going to talk a bit more about that as well. So let's dive in firstly to talk about crypto and AI agents. So as I mentioned, this trend of crypto and AI is gone parabolic. We are seeing these kind of AI agent tokens just increase parabolically in the same way that we saw with NFTs and DeFi. And while some of you may not have heard of the term agentic AI, it is literally everywhere with huge amounts of sort of articles and reports being written in crypto and AI press with multiple VC reports. And you only need to look at the Google Trend report to see this kind of exponential increase. So let's try and understand what this means. So what does agentic mean? Well, agentic, the word means having agency, having the ability to act, to make decisions and take action towards a goal. And so you can think of this as, having some of these kind of somewhat human attributes of being able to solve problems, be able to pursue goals, and to be able to do things in order to achieve these. So let's look at a comparison between non-agentic AI and agentic AI. So with non-agentic AI, it will follow instructions, do exactly what it's told. An example could be like some sort of weather forecasting AI. But agentic AI makes decisions autonomously, chooses the steps to reach the goals. And an example of that could be a commerce agent. And I'll explain that a bit more. Let's look at this weather forecasting AI. It will take weather data as an input and then just output predictions based on patterns. It can't decide how to gather new data, and it can't adapt to any goals. In contrast, if we were to build a agentic AI commerce agent, it could, its goal could be to achieve sales for a product. So it might decide what products to recommend, when to offer promotions, how to engage with customers, and then sort of, it can process customer payments, place orders for inventory, and track delivery and logistics. So it can learn and develop in order to achieve its stated goal and act on it. Agentic AI can do complex tasks. So it enables us to automate actions. It can adapt to changes in the environment, and it can achieve goals without constant human input. And so this is the big difference. This is one of the reasons why agentic AI matters and is so disruptive. Another reason is that AI is set to become this new interface. I mean, currently, most of the way that we will integrate or interface with the web is through, these fingers, this keyboard, which I'm awful at using, and a screen. And then we have sort of applications and websites and platforms and all of these things. And we've kind of got used to it, but it's not normal. What's normal is being able to talk. And so AI can replace all of these kind of clunky interfaces with just a natural language, human-like interface, which is going to simplify user experience massively. So think of the way you might interact with Siri or Alexa. It's the same way that you interact with all other intelligences, i.e. human intelligences. This is what AI brings. It brings just this kind of normal interaction as an interface. And sort of, also AI's agents are like these empowered workers. So they can perform complex tasks previously done by apps and platforms, but also people. And so, they can work directly for us as individuals rather than corporates. I mean, a lot of the applications and platforms that we use to book our travel, to, like Amazon, to buy things, these applications aren't working for us. They're working for a corporation. Their aim is to extract maximum value from us. AI agents, we can actually just work for us. They're ours. And so they can optimize the outcomes and maximize the value for us as users, rather than be doing it for their owners, the likes of Amazon, Booking.com, or whoever. And so you can think of AI agents as the new website. And here's a tweet by AI16Z, which is a DAO that's creating lots of AI agents. And so, saying deploying an AI agent is the new creating a website. It's this new interface between, sort of, in our context, between buyers and sellers. And so this is massively, and this, is massive. And something for brands and sellers to think about is, it's like when suddenly the web arrived and people said, do I need a website? It's the same question. Do I need an agent? It is the new channel. And so, expect to have this sort of home interface. I mean, you've seen the likes of, Alexa and Siri, but having a home interface, a home AI that knows you very well, that's empowered, you trust it. And that's the main thing that you're going to use to interact with anything digital. And so it's going to be an improvement over Google. You don't have to open your phone and type into a search engine. You just talk conversationally. So you just speak, and agents will understand. They're going to do the hard work of understanding, doing things for us. They are going to do the bridging between us and technology, whereas up until this point, we have been the bridges. So another thing is agents can buy things. So here's an example of an agent called Reprito. It's buying pizza with a credit card. And so, this is a very, I guess, basic implementation of AI commerce. I mean, obviously, and we're going to get into a bit more detail of this. It's buying with a credit card. It's going to be, placing an order with a seller. All sorts of things could go wrong if it goes off the happy path with, for example, not receiving the pizza, all of these different things. Boson provides a massive upgrade to this. So it enables agents to pay with stable coins and gives these trust minimized assurances that either you get the pizza and the pizza shop gets paid, or you get your money back. These are critical things that we're going to dive into. So, to give you an idea of some of the capabilities that AI agents have already. So agents can view and interact with websites. So here's an example of an AI agent called Degen Spartan AI that's ordering toilet paper. And so it can go and view a screen. it can go and read on screen and basically use websites like Amazon. Now, this technology is going to be massive, and we're going to be building some agents that do things like go to lots of different platforms and basically, kind of grab assets that are currently in sort of siloed platforms and websites and bring them onto Boson and Fermion so that they can then be in this kind of liquid market for physical assets and can then be much more easily exchanged via AI agents. We're going to talk a bit more about that later. But first, so we've given a basic overview of what AI agents do. Let's talk a bit now about why crypto needs AI. The primary reason for this is that crypto's UX is complex, and the point that Jamie Burke and Outlier Ventures make in their post-web thesis is that crypto is a very powerful back-end infrastructure technology, and the experiment that we've run shows that humans find it difficult to use. I mean, there are huge benefits with using crypto, the sovereignty, the control that it gives you, the fact that you don't have to have massive amounts of value extracted by platforms, but it's difficult to use. And so AI can solve this by sitting between humans and machines. It can listen to instructions from humans, and it can execute these by plugging into crypto systems. So it's a solution for this complex UX that will unlock mass adoption of crypto. But the converse is true also. AI needs crypto. So if I'm going to delegate responsibility and the power to go and buy things on my behalf to an agent, then I want to make sure that agent doesn't get scammed. I want to make sure that agent doesn't get confused, or it doesn't send the money and not receive the goods. So instead of using sort of trust, sort of human trust or platforms, etc., what AI needs to execute commerce transactions is verified commerce, and that's exactly what we've built with Boson, and we'll dig into that in a bit more depth. So when you put these two together, crypto and AI, you get all the benefits of crypto with super easy UX, and this unlocks mass adoption. We're already seeing this kind of parabolic adoption of AI, and this year will be the year of AI agents. And in order for that to kind of operate in a sort of verifiable way, crypto execution needs to be used. And that's why we are racing to implement and build out this whole platform to support this zeitgeist. So when you put crypto and AI together, instead of having the likes of Amazon to go and aggregate sellers and handle all of aggregate sellers, present options to you, do things like recommendations and all of those other things that the Amazon platform does very well, we can now replace that with an AI agent that has got Boson enabled crypto commerce execution. The difference being that instead of having the likes of Amazon taking 30% in the middle between the buyers and sellers, these agents just work for us. And so this is massive platform disruption, particularly in commerce. And so the point we're making here is that crypto cross AI is not Web 4. It's not another iteration of the web. It's going to be the end of the web. It's going to be post-web, and it's going to be the end of platforms. It's going to be post-platforms. That's huge. So let's talk a bit more now about this kind of confluence of crypto, AI, and commerce. And the way we like to think of it is crypto loves AI, loves commerce. So let's have a little look through the history of and the different options for how you can do commerce. So if you look at, doing commerce in either a peer-to-peer or a direct-to-consumer way, you're going to have a user up the top here that's going to interface with a website, and they are then going to have some way of connecting, of communicating with a seller. So they're going to go via the web. Maybe it's a website, maybe it's, I don't know, something like Craigslist, but whatever. There is a connection between the potential buyer and the seller. Now, obviously, if you're doing business over the internet, this involves a number of risks. One is fair exchange risk. How do I know if I send my money, I'm going to get the goods? And how does the seller know if they send the goods, they're going to get their money? And so often this is resolved by, the using things like credit cards, or the buyer sending the money first because they trust the website. But there's also sort of inherent counterparty risk there. But trust is one of the main ways that this would be sort of mitigated. Challenge being that this doesn't scale particularly well and has inherent risks. So this is one of the reasons why centralized platforms like Amazon have developed, because if two untrusting parties want to do commerce over the internet, they don't trust each other, but they can both trust Amazon. The challenge with this is that we have what's called a set of like principal agent problems, where Amazon is working for itself. It's in Amazon's interest to screw as much value out of the sellers, to screw as much value out of the buyers. And I think we can see that's exactly what they've done. So we get excessive extraction. Another challenge, if you're building a business on a centralized platform, is platform risk. So you only have to look at companies like Zynga, the gaming company that built a whole $1 billion business on top of Facebook. What happened was that Facebook one day changed the rules and their business was no longer valid. So what we find is that, in addition to this platform risk, these centralized platforms get outsized market power. Now, all of these problems was the reason why we built Boson. And so if we look at Boson version 2, Boson replaces that centralized platform with a set of smart contracts, a protocol that enables fair exchange, has no principal agent problem because you can inspect the code and see that this code is designed, it can't be evil. There's no platform risk because even if we were to change Boson, we'd have to upgrade it to a new version. The old version would still be there, just like you'd have seen with the Uniswap. And the upgrades are determined, have to be voted for by the community. And then trust minimized transactions. This is code. We can read and we know how it's going to execute. So it solves a whole host of those problems. But there has been one problem that has plagued all of Web3 pretty much, is this complex UI. If you want to expand beyond, crypto savvy users, then you have a problem because these systems, no matter how easy we make them, they're inherently more complex than Web2 applications. And so we've got this kind of complex UI problem. So there's been the state of play with decentralized commerce up until now. And if you look then at the options for having an AI commerce stack, so this is currently without any crypto. So the way that AI commerce could work, and if you take this pizza example that I referred to earlier, you could have your kind of sovereign home AI agent, your Siri, your Alexa, or some other agent, and you might say, okay, I would like to buy a bicycle, and it will go and it will search and etc. And it may either have commerce agent functionality, or it may use a commerce agent to go then and pay for that pizza or that bicycle with a payment card wallet. Now, of course, using payment cards, you've got high fees, chargeback risks, all of these other issues, not ideal. But then it will then pay a seller for the item. Now, the problem you've got here is exactly the same as the previous example. You've got fair exchange risk, counterparty risk. You've also got the challenge of the AI trusting a seller brand. I mean, when we go to a website, we do a very complex assessment of whether or not this website is trustworthy and I should send my money to the website. And then also, there's all these other states of, okay, does the bike arrive? Does it not? These what we call like indeterminate fuzzy output states that just make this whole thing kind of risky and difficult for an AI agent to execute. We need to remember these are machines that, are going to operate in much better in a very controlled, verified environment. So the other option, which would be that you would use some sort of a platform. So if we were buying a bicycle, let's say we got the same setup, but instead of going directly to the sellers, it will go to Amazon. Again, you've got all the principal agent problems, excessive extraction, platform risk, and the fuzziness of dealing with a platform like Amazon. If ever any of you have been through disputes, etc., it's not a clear kind of process. You can get caught in a maze. So these are kind of like risky and not ideal. But if we now combine a sovereign home AI agent which has this very simple UX, it's natural language. Can please choose me a bicycle? I'm looking for a mountain bike, blah, blah, blah. Price range is X. And this agent then talks to a decentralized commerce AI agent. So if this is one of our Boson powered decentralized commerce AI agents, and these are going to be very easy to implement for devs. We're going to be covering all the major agent platforms. We're already, kind of building out the agents across the likes of Virtuals, Eliza, and other multiple other platforms. This gives you trusted execution of commerce. So now this agent can interact with your crypto wallet. So you've got low fees, no chargebacks. That crypto wallet can then make payments into the Boson protocol core tokenization layer. So we're again enabling fair exchange. Either you get the item or you get your money back. There's no principal agent problem. This is code that you can trust and inspect. No platform risk. Boson is decentralized. Trust minimize transactions. And then also these kind of what we call verifiable deterministic output states. So Boson runs on a what we call a kind of state machine. There are a finite number of states the system can be in, and it's all verifiable, deterministic, and either you get the item or your money back. This is what AI needs to securely execute high value transactions or just everyday transactions. And of course, because this is built on Boson, you can handle any commerce transactions. And with the addition of Fermion within the Boson ecosystem, we can actually now tokenize and trade any physical asset, from commerce through high value commerce, art, commodities, real estate. Any physical asset will be handled by this Boson tokenization system. And all of this orchestrated by the Boson token. So, I mean, this is huge. So the way we see this is that, decentralized AI commerce is really going to be like the Amazon killer. Finally, there is a way to have all the convenience that keeps people with Amazon with, minimal extraction and, trusted execution for AI. Okay, so let's look a little more. Let's look into what we're going to build in terms of the stack for decentralized AI commerce. This isn't a technical talk, so I'm not going to be going into masses of detail. This is designed to give an overview, and we'll be publishing the sort of technical deep dives for the devs and people that are interested in that. We'll be following up with that. So firstly, let's start with Boson V2. So Boson V2 is the foundational infrastructure for decentralized commerce. So we have this base layer, which is the Boson tokenization layer. This is the layer that does all the tokenizing of physical assets. And then on top of that, we've got our commerce real world exchange layer with Boson. So if you're doing commerce exchanges, this layer, this layer will kick in. And then if you're doing a high value asset exchange where you don't just want to use a commerce method where you're going to send something through the post and dispute after the fact, you want to send your $100,000 watch or art piece to a verifier, have that custodied, so you want a higher level of verification, or you want fractionalization, then you would use Fermion protocol. Both of these all rely on the Boson base layer, all orchestrated by the Boson token. So, although Boson and Fermion have separate tokens, they're separate networks. They also have overlapping communities, and the technologies are integrated. So this is like a real, end-to-end system for tokenizing and trading any physical real-world asset. And we call this the kind of the off-chain web. This system is the off-chain web, the internet of off-chain assets. So Boson V3 extends Boson to be the foundational infrastructure for decentralized AI commerce. And let's look a little bit about the kind of commerce agent types that we are building, and also will be launching a grant program to also kind of sponsor the development of some of these agents. So at the highest level, we're going to be building a verified commerce agent. So if you yourself want to buy something or use a commerce agent to go and perform some sort of commerce transaction that will include search, discovery, all of those different things, that's a kind of complete end-to-end agent, then the verified commerce agents are the one for you. And you can either use that directly, or you can call that from your home agent, say please use the Boson commerce agent to execute transactions. But from our kind of years of experience, we recognize that there will also be a requirement from whether it's companies or developers to kind of integrate these modules into their own agents and other applications. And so we're also providing these sort of mid-level components, so that offer this sort of what we call pre-assembled functionality. So you can integrate the Boson kind of commerce buyer module, or you could integrate the seller module into your sort of technology. And then for the developers that want really low level building blocks and granular control, all of these modules and agents are built from lower level components that can kind of be picked up and integrated within more bespoke offerings. So that's the sort of high level architecture. And as I said, we're going to be following up on a deeper dive on some of the exactly what we're building, and also some of the agents that we're going to be offering specific grant funding. So an example is, we are going to be developing agents that are going to go and screen scrape lots of assets and load them onto Boson and Fermion. We're going to be creating agents that are then going to arbitrage between different platforms. So if you think you've got a whole load of Rolexes on platform A and a whole load on platform B, or you've got this on Alibaba and this on, that these agents can go find all these assets, load them onto Boson and Fermion, and then another set of agents can go and arbitrage. So if there are price differentials, they can go and buy one here, sell it there, and make money on the arbitrage. So huge opportunities and a massive disruption to the economy. So although this is kind of all very kind of technical, but foundational and base level, we're also going to be doing some really cool things. So this, I'm giving an alpha leak here on our plans for the Dolce & Gabbana glass suit. So I was out in Milan in November last year at the Dolce & Gabbana Alta Moda Atelier, it's called. It's this amazing medieval building with sort of marble and stuff. And we were shooting a whole load of footage of the glass suit to support this initiative. So for those of you who don't know, the glass suit is a $1 million digiphysical. So it's an NFT and this handmade suit, all made with all these kind of glass beads, a piece of fashion history. And so the plan is that this glass suit is going to become an AI agent. So we're going to have an agent that lives on X. It will be tokenized on Boson. It's going to be fractionalized on Fermion. So we're going to have fractions of ownership of this suit. And this AI agent will live on X, and it will be interacting with the community and rewarding the community for interacting and promoting the agent itself, but also for interacting with and promoting Boson, Fermion, and generally the whole kind of Web3 fashion and emerging AI ecosystem. So watch out for that. It's going to be super cool, lots of fun, and really demonstrate some of the capabilities. So as we develop this technology for Boson, we'll then be upgrading this agent to demonstrate that in a really kind of cool and engaging way. So next, let's talk about how we see decentralized AI commerce as this sort of path to mass adoption and what I've described as a computable economy. So first, let's if I give you an overview of the computable economy. So as I mentioned earlier, this is a concept that Professor Jason Potts, the blockchain economist, and I developed in an academic paper. And basically, the thesis is that blockchain technology can enable this new type of economy, a computable economy, and that this new economy will support masses more complexity, which will unlock exponential wealth and a step change in human progress. And we've seen these sort of changes in the economy. Well, we saw it during the Industrial Revolution, where we kind of moved to this sort of industrial economy with limited companies and funding and finance and lots of innovation and sort of growth in wealth. But the core condition for enabling a computable economy is having all assets, including physical assets, tokenized with the same strong commitments as natively on-chain assets. So what we mean by the same strong commitments is, if I tokenize my car and you buy the token, we need to make sure that if you hold that token, either you get the item or your money back. It's not enough to trust anyone. And so that's the crucial condition, and that is the focus of all the technology that we're building. And so, as I said, we see this this confluence of decentralized commerce and AI as a path to this mass adoption. And so, at the base layer, there will be Boson, and this is a massive opportunity for the Boson token to orchestrate what could be $1 trillion opportunity. Okay, so that was our overview of Boson V3, decentralized AI commerce, and this we will be calling assured commerce for humans and AI. So there's only one thing left for me to do, which is this one for our Telegram community. This is the way.